Hello, welcome back to part 4 of the S-Rank Marathon. Kicking this off will be Okuyasu Nijimura. If I had to describe Okuyasu, I'd say he's a bully character, having some of the scariest close-range pressure I've seen from most characters. Okuyasu's 236 on both stand, on and off are both variations of his scraping space move, with the similarities being that they are both unblockable, and if you perform this with the heavy variation, it does a fake out with little recovery time. The difference in these being that standoff 236 drags you towards the opponent and you can cover the entire screen and choose whether you want to appear beside them and above them, and stand on 236 dragging the opponent towards you, which has way more combo potential. I just want to say, I believe it's intentional, and I love that if you use the Nijimura brothers combo, you can squeeze 2 HHAs into one combo for Okuyasu. It's actually one of the strongest assist choices, I believe. The way I played Okuyasu was just constantly stringing together his scrape moves into his pressure just to not let them get away. I love that his moves are a perfect representation of Okuyasu with his I just want to get in your face and scrape you off the face of the earth fighting style. His HHA is a big brutal swipe that covers a large area and hits on the floor. His GHA is an unblockable with some really quick activation, and in stand on it's really easy to hit. The only issue I had was when I was fighting Iggy, and that was an Iggy specific issue of him being too small to be hit by like half of the moves in the game. What a cool design choice. In case you can't tell, I think Okuyasu is pretty fucking sick, and one of the more fun characters of S-Ranked so far. Next up would have been Jonathan, but my game crashed. Same case with Dio, I'll do it another time. Next up is Prosciutto and Pesci. Okay. You see, on release, many people considered these two to be busted, but ever since their big nerf, I've barely ever seen people play them, which is slightly concerning going into this. Prosciutto Pesci, or Prosciutto I'm gonna call them for short, are one of 2 characters where you have control of 2 characters together, but not in the same sense as like Carl Clover from Blaze Blue, who literally is 2 characters. But if Prosciutto gets hit during any of Pesci's moves, Pesci actually won't stop, and his moves will still go through while you're hit. When in standoff, the duo will work together to juggle the opponent for some half-decent yet slow range potential, but pulling out his stand, the Grateful Dead, Pesci runs off to safety and Prosciutto becomes a scary-ass rushdown character with half of his moveset slowly starting to age the opponent and limiting more and more of their movement. My issue with Prosciutto Pesci is that the combos really don't feel all that powerful, and even worse, they're really slow burn sort of combos, which, being ranked on time, is really not something you want to have to work with. I actually only got an A rank the first time around because of the quality of most of my fights. The HHA is a counter which, though unreliable, does inflict full aging on the opponent, which is kinda nice, but on my second run I realised that Prosciutto's GHA can actually hit on the ground, and with that from a pretty far distance, which, though convenient, I feel like is really cheap, which is honestly kind of my opinion on this character as a whole. Not that bad, but just cheap. Either way, I kinda easily S-ranked them on the second run. Oh, and also in terms for characters meant for limiting options and being lame, we have a character so much worse coming into this in the future. Mark my words. Our third character being our first ever character from Battle Tendency is AC/DC. Oh, JK. It's Stroheim, you utter fool! Being a DLC character in a fighting game, Stroheim is very strong. Where do I even begin? His 236 machine gun's really good for long range pokes and HHA confirms. His grenades are really annoying in anti-airs in neutral and really strong in combos. Maybe even the most terrifying piece of his kit, UV lasers which all burn guard gauge on block, tear through health, his low heavies hit on the ground and bounce the opponent, which can lead straight into GHA. What the fuck is this character? Needless to say, a bunch of people figured out a 100% to death for the German crackhead on the first day he was released, and is kinda why I hate fighting him. Even watching this clip, it takes 20 seconds for this fight to go from Pucci nearly having Stroheim dead to Stroheim literally having him dead, even though he was on about 800 to 900 health. I don't think I have to mention this, but I asked to Stroheim with these. Also, I went into the practice range, and after only like 15 minutes, I had a 898 damage combo with him. I don't even have that kind of combo on my main. I only have a 596 on him. Either way, I think that's a pretty good place to leave this episode. Thanks to all of you who are still here and supporting these videos, it really means a lot, and I'm actually really happy that you are all enjoying these just as much as I am. And with that, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.